It's time now to answer some of your business questions. Carol and Mike are with us once again. The first one comes from Julius, and he writes, just last month, I started an internet store selling organic items. I've used my Twitter and Facebook accounts to contact all of my friends, but not one person has bought anything yet. What more can I do to get my organic online store going? He doesn't have very nice friends. Someone should have just thrown him a bone and gotten something. But he's doing something wrong. I mean, his friends, someone should have bought something.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. People think social media, and all of a sudden I'm going to put this announcement out and there's going to be a big ticker tape parade and everybody's going to be lining up to buy things. But there's a trust gap. And particularly if you're selling something like food, you know, we were taught from a very young age, don't take candy from strangers. So now you're a stranger trying to sell organic candy or organic something else. And you have to start building a relationship with people or they're not going to trust you. So go out and do things that benefit your customer. Maybe it's coming up with a report that says top 10 ways to stay healthy or top 5 reasons you should buy organic. And then they start seeing you as a valued, trusted source of information. You build the relationship and then you ask for the sale.
What about sending out a free sample in his case? I mean, it's a product and probably won't cost that much compared to some other marketing.
That could work. What my fear here is a misunderstanding what Facebook and Twitter is all about. It's like us going to Grand Central Station right now and saying, hey, who wants to buy this wonderful desk right now? It's a crisscross of all different traffic that's not interested in you in the moment. So it is what Carol's saying. You have to build a dialogue. Free samples may get started, but I would just show little tidbits of interest around what your product is and invite people to share their email address. Because once you get their email address, you can build rapport and then introduce your product down the road.
And that's the thing. Actually, then you get their attention a little bit more. Assuming they open your email, which is a big assumption, but versus a tweet that just goes and flies by.
I agree. I don't think you have a shot in the dark if you just try to sell on Twitter or Facebook.
Yeah, and JJ, your point about the friends, that's a focus group. Ask your friends, why didn't you buy?
That's a great idea.
Did you not get my email? Maybe your friends only like potato chips, but ask them the question.
Great idea. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is about picking a location for your business.
One of the things I always ask myself is, where do you locate your company? So my question is, what does a young company consider as far as a community or a region when they're trying to decide where to locate their new company?
So what kind of research should you do?
So you got to know the quality of the workforce you're looking for and where they are. You got to know the tax consequences for sure. But you also think about your own lifestyle. Small businesses are here to support the lifestyle we want. I know a lot of people that move into the hotbed area where the talent is and everything, but they compromise themselves. So you got to consider all three.
Yeah, and another thing to consider, where are your customers? If you have end customers that you're servicing, you want to make it easy for them to get to your business. And even if you're in a B2B realm, you might want to drop in to see a client or have them see you. So that's another one to think about.
Yeah, we've had people on the show who literally, for a retail store, go to an area, count how many people are walking into the neighboring stores, see what time, note what time people are coming and going, look at the parking. There's so much to consider.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to the next one. This is a question from Avi, and he writes, I have a company that produces 5 varieties of carrot cake and a few other select products. My business is comprised of wholesale and retail. I have had a terrible time finding an advisor that can answer questions for me specifically about the food and grocery industry. Where can I find one? This is just a good question in general, not specific to food, but where do you find good advisors and someone who is willing to help you?
So the most underused resource for entrepreneurs is your own network. You want to get a trusted recommendation. So ask your friends, ask your family, ask your alumni association, ask your professional network, ask your social network, and then make it easy for them. What kind of advisor are you looking for? Are you looking for somebody for capital raising advice specific to food, or perhaps you're looking for somebody on the retail side to help you negotiate? So be really specific about it and put it out to your own network, and then you'll get a great recommendation from that.
I think you should look for a moach, and this is a word I just termed in my head. But there's mentors, there's coaches, and there's moaches. A mentor is someone that's already in the industry that is philanthropically just sharing advice. The only problem is they're not going to be with you every step of the way. A coach often isn't from your industry, but they'll bill you, but they'll be with you every step of the way. A moach is where you take the best parts of a mentor, someone that's in the industry, maybe a competitor, but has a piece of the action. They have a piece of equity in your business, so they see the value of participating actively. If you get a moach,
so you suspect giving someone a piece of equity.
If you want them to stay long term, they have to be deriving value. So you either got to pay them with cash or you got to give them equity. If you just look for a mentor, they're going to help philanthropically, but they have other things to do too.
As soon as we're done here, are you going to go trademark that?
I'm going to moat you first. I know how to do everything here, and then I'll trademark it.
All right, let's move on to the next one. This is an email from Karen. She is the owner of a hand-blown glass gallery. She and her husband are struggling to keep their doors open. Karen writes, "We need to make $40,000 more a year. We own all of our inventory. We do have a few consignment pieces. We have only about 2 months left to use for our living expenses. We'll not be able to get credit due to poor credit from the business. Is there a way to sell?" You both are kind of looking at each other. I mean, she's in a tough position.
Yeah, I mean, I can feel the desperation in this question, and so many entrepreneurs are going through this. And I think, you know when to hold them and you know when to fold them, and it's coming through loud and clear that she knows she needs to get out of this business. So I think there are a couple things. First, her and her husband have to right the ship. Somebody needs to go make money for the family because they have 2 months of living expenses. So somebody needs to get, a job or a part-time job or some source of income. In terms of selling, the business itself doesn't have a lot of value. It's obviously going south, but there's a lot of value in the inventory. So she can approach auction houses. She can approach other galleries and maybe chunk it out in pieces, even try her own auction. But at the end of the day, you need to get the value out of the inventory.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm hearing fire sale. It's the worst time to sell. But I recognize the situation you're in, too. Maybe one option, this is a little bit of a risk, you go to competitors, but not direct competitors, and tell them, hey, we're trying to grow our business. We're struggling a little bit right now. Would you be interested in taking a small equity stake in our business? And if this pans out, we'll give you a great deal on the business. This way, you can get a bigger player involved in your business and supporting you actively, but they don't take a huge amount of risk and put all their money on the table.
Yeah, and maybe to your point, if you can, someone still goes and gets a job so that your whole family is not on the line.
Yeah, I think the key thing here is I think that that's a great idea, but at the same time, too, if the business isn't working out at some point, it's part of your investment portfolio, and you don't want to throw good money after bad. So that equity investment may help you along for a little bit, but, it's not going to solve the overall issue.
Unless they have some skills that you don't have, right, and they bring something to the company that you don't have anymore. All right, well, thank you so much, Mike and Carol. This is great advice. And if any of you out there have a question for our experts, just go to our website. The address is openforum.com/yourbusiness. There, just hit the Ask the Show link to submit a question for our panel. Again, the website is openforum.com/yourbusiness, or you can email us your questions and your comments. The address is yourbusiness@msnbc.com.